With clean hands and a clean face, let's drain the lymphatic fluid from our face and neck. Starting at the base of the neck, let's open up our first major lymphatic checkpoint. We have 7 major lymphatic checkpoints that we need to stimulate. All I'm doing is gently pulling the skin down. You can also put a finger below the collarbone and a finger above in this little pocket and gently on each side, one at a time, drag the skin inward. These major check node points are areas where your lymphatic fluid will flow through, and these lymph nodes will check all the lymph fluid for tumors, cancers, toxic waste, foreign bodies, attack it and help your body remove those toxins. So we need to stimulate these 7 major points before we start moving lymphatic fluid. Moving to the angle of the jaw, this is where the biggest lymph node in the body sits. I'm gonna place my hands backwards with my thumbs at the front of my throat and my fingers touching in the back, and gently, with the whole surface of my fingers, pull the skin down and then release that pull. And we're gonna do like 5 to 10 of these. So these lymph nodes are really important because they are scanning the lymph fluid that's passing through it and making sure everything going through it is good for your body. So it's really important that we're working with these 7 major areas first. You may find yourself swallowing, coughing, burping, yawning, stomach gurgling. This is all signs your lymph fluid that is just sitting between the spaces of your cells and in your body is actually moving. We're gonna go Spock hands, peace sign, whatever hand shape you like, 2 fingers behind the ear, 2 fingers in front, and we're going to be picking the ear up by squeezing 2 fingers together and kind of pulling that ear forward and ending with a downward pull. We have lymph nodes in front and behind of the ear, but we also have 12 cranial nerves on each side. So this is going to help your nervous system calm down as well. That's where a lot of that yawning can come from. So making sure we're pulling all the fluid down to this first checkpoint. Right inside the pec here on this little curve, you're going to take the full surface of your fingers and pull the skin inward. Again, there I go, swallowing. So just resetting my face for the day, kind of energizing the body. You may find yourself clearing your throat as well. So I'm just pulling the skin inward and kind of ending with like a little press inward to that little concave area. Moving to the diaphragm, we're gonna go right below the diaphragm here in this soft part of our belly. Palm in the middle, other hand back here on the floating ribs. Bring your hands together and we're gonna pull all that skin inward, really like pressing this palm kind of up and in. This is a gentle motion. We're just trying to pull the skin, so nothing too firm. Just had a little belch, so we are moving some fluid. We're just gonna open all 7 just for good measure, get the day started right. Right inside each hip bone. So here's my hip bones. I'm gonna pull up and in towards my belly button. We have about 1 to 20 lymph nodes that live on the inside of each hip here. So it's really important we open these because the lymph nodes here are gonna scan the lymph fluid in the upper thigh and then moving behind each knee, and I'm just kind of pulling that tissue towards me. The lymph nodes behind the knee are going to drain the lower leg and the foot. Moving back to the face in 1 moment. Now that we got our 7 major lymph nodes open and the whole circulatory pump system of lymph is moving, let's start draining some lymph from our face and neck. So I'm going to start, and we're just going to start really close to the ear. We can do both sides at once if we want, just for the sake of the video and time. And I'm going to be pushing the skin back very gently. Way more gentle than you would think. Like I'm not even pressing in. I'm literally just barely moving the skin. People with really sensitive lymphatic systems, this will feel like a water faucet is turned on. So it has to be very gentle. That fluid's right below the surface. Now notice that when I press and I move down, I'm halfway covering the area I just touched. So we're always giving it extra coverage. Again, you can use oils or lotions if you need to for lubrication. As you see, my face is a little shiny. I have a good moisturizer on. There I go, swallowing again. And we're just slowly making our way down to the chin. I'm gonna cover this track once more and really make sure. We have a lot of lymph fluid that lives underneath the chin. So this bottom finger, I'm really pressing up into that groove, that open space. So if you do need oils or lotions, do use them, but you know, it's not always necessary. Some people do have drier skin. I'm gonna place the backs of my fingers and start really taking this bottom finger, pressing up and pulling back, pressing up and pulling back. And this is gentle. I'm trying to do this quick so you can add it into your morning routine with your skincare. You may feel yourself calming down because, again, we're working with cranial nerves, but also just gentle touch is extremely healing. Moving right below the cheekbone, we want to clear this area first before we bring the fluid from the upper face down. So I'm just going to, and you can use whatever hand position works for you. The lighter the touch, the better. I can do this on sleeping adults, sleeping children. It's extremely light. Notice that my skin is barely moving. I'm kind of doing like a half circle. We're draining all this fluid. We're pulling it back and opening. So this first part right now, we're just releasing tension in the fascial tissue by warming it and gently tractioning it. And that's gonna help the lymphatic fluid flow when we go to brush all that lymphatic fluid that's stuck in these tissues that were previously tight through those lymph nodes. So moving below the eye, I'm just gonna gently pin my face, and then we're gonna use a pressing motion all the way in. Lymph under the eyes will drain like this. So I'm gonna pin without pulling, I'm just holding the skin, and then I'm gonna press. And I like to look up when I do this. I have, I carry like a lot of fluid under here. I'm still dealing with like residual black mold poisoning. So I still kind of look a little concave and gaunt in the morning. And then you can just swipe down from the tear duct down to the side of the nose. And we're gonna do this side now. I prefer my pointer finger, but you can use whatever finger you like and whatever finger you're comfortable with. I injured this right eye last year, so I usually have extra fluid here. If you wake up in the morning and you feel like your eyes are popping out of the head, this would be a good one for you. Now we're gonna take the tops of our fingers like this and do the same very gentle pressing motion. Spend a lot of time in the soft tissue part above the eyeball and below the eye bone, the brow bone. We have a lot of fluid here behind the eyes. This area I always drain a ton from my clients. So we're just pressing out, and I'm gonna go 2 fingers now. There I go, swallowing. Okay, and then moving to the brows. You can use a little bit more firm pressure on the brows. And again, I'm just using that pressing motion, and then we're gonna gently pull up, and now we're gonna swipe all of that fluid away. And you can just use like very light fingers. I just wanna get close so you guys can see how light it is. And we're just gonna brush that away. We have dust on our face. I also do this with lymphatic brushes. You can also use these techniques with a gua sha. Obviously use like an oil or a lotion if you're using a gua sha, or if you're just a really oily girl. So I'm gonna drain that lower face and then bring all that down the terminus. This area is really important because this is where the left thoracic duct and the right lymphatic duct like empty into to drain all this lymph fluid back to the heart. So we have to really start focusing on bringing all lymph here because this is where it's ending up anyways. So I'm gonna move and go back to the eye and just do some swipes down the nose, right to these little sinuses right here. And then the top of the forehead, and we're gonna do the top of the head, the back of the neck, and then we're done. So we have a lot of lymph fluid up here. While I'm doing this, I want you to take your tongue and suck it to the roof of your mouth. Not just, but bring that sucker up, hold it, and then we're gonna press our tongue up as we press our hands down gently. You may find yourself taking a few deep breaths. We're moving to the back of the head. Keeping our tongue up there and just really pressing. I'm gonna do the temples. If you grind your teeth, this may feel really good. And then I'm gonna bring all of that forward. You should check in with yourself at this point. Does your head feel a little lighter? Do you feel more energized? Do you look different? I hope you feel better because I know I do. Leave a comment below if you have any questions.